Alex, with how good your season's gone so far, how difficult is it to not rest on your laurels and just think, oh, it's going to go like it's gone the last several races so far?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's been a crazy start of the season for us, but yeah, I didn't go to Indy Road Course thinking that it was going to continue that way, or Barber, or Long Beach, or any other races. So we just get it, try and execute as good as we can. But the 500, it's a different animal. Like I think it feels like it's outside of the championship. Like we're here for like 2 weeks. Everybody's so dialed in. You have like new entries for this place. A lot more activities that we do for the 500. So it just feels like a race on its own. So yeah, I'm just focused on the 500, and yeah, so far we've been sixth best car out there.
Felix, with the change in technical alliance this year with Meyer Shank Racing, how different does this year's car feel compared to last year? Not taking the hybrid into account of that.
Yeah, it's always hard to know, right, with the hybrid. I think the hybrid has been pretty huge around here, but the cars have felt super good. With the partnership with Ganassi, all the three of us are technically in the same boat. So it's been you hear how difficult the car is to handle, and we feel that, but I think we're on the better side of it, and there's definitely cars that are handling worse than ours. So it's just a lot of depth in this alliance. You have the guy sitting next to me, and you have Kiffin and Marcus and Helio. So every time after a session, it's just so much that to be learned, and I think that's also a reason why we've been strong. So yeah, super successful so far. Super happy with it.
And Scott, how busy have the debriefs been this year? I know you had five cars last year, but you still technically have five, well, six with Elio. How different is it this year compared to last?
It's been pretty chilled, to be honest. It's been pretty relaxed. I think some days we've had a fair amount of time. I think it's been very resourceful and pretty open. There's kind of no egos. It's been apart from Elio, it's been pretty easy.
Well, he called you out saying you dyed your hair, so
I've never dyed my hair. Him, that's a different story. I did bleach blonde my hair, yes. I'll take
Oh, that
that.
was
Is that the
back in the
same thing?
day,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Huh?
Is that the same thing? Oh, it is? Yeah. I don't
Uh,
know. Whatever. Okay, so I have.
that was a younger Scott Dixon, though, so you're way more mature now.
I'd like to see this proof. I think I have all the proof.
Get those frosted tips back.
Frosted tips, yeah. It was, yeah, different times,
That was
man.
cool.
Different times.
Huh?
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. Alex, one of the kind of videos that's made a lot of rounds since Sunday is the one where you're laughing almost at the Newgar as they're working on Newgarden's car. I'm curious what was going through your mind, and now with all the fallout, do you feel bad about at all about standing there laughing?
No, no. I mean, honestly, I was there like 10 minutes before Fast 12. That was Fast 12, right? Yeah. I was the last car. Joseph's car was right in front of us. And I was just focused on my qualifying. So before getting into the car, I saw a lot of movement there. Um, I know that you're allowed to change front wing, rear wing, but nothing else. So I was just there and just trying to be funny. I asked if they were trying to cheat, but I didn't know what was going on. So I didn't get an answer there. And then suddenly I found what was going on, but I honestly didn't know what was going on. I just tried to be funny at that moment. But yeah, I mean that's a story. I was not trying to put a finger in the thing that was going on. So yeah.
And Scott, there's a lot of talk on whether there's a level playing field or not. Are you confident that there is?
Uh, it's a difficult situation for them, right? I think they're under the magnifying glass anyway, with what happened last year and then, what happened last weekend. It's unfortunate, I think, mostly just for the series. So I don't want to get involved with it, to be honest. I think we've seen how it's playing out, and they're doing the best they can at this moment. You know, the downside is that, you know, most of the talk going into our biggest race of the year is about that, opposed to, you know, someone like Schwartzman getting the pole, rookie team. You know, there's so many cool stories going into it. Hopefully, you know, that definitely ramps up.
Scott, I wanted to ask you, and I've asked a couple of the other drivers, so everyone's probably sick of my question, but you have enough starts here. It really feels like this year coming into the Indy 500 that there isn't this odds-on guy that is favored to win, or this particular team. Is that a fair assessment? I mean, does it feel pretty wide open to you as well, having been in this race a long time? Does it feel more so maybe this year than in years past?
Yeah, I think the margins are definitely very small. But I think, you know, the Prema Schwartzman thing was a good, you know, situation of that. You know, I don't think anybody going into Saturday were like, you know, they've got a real shot at winning pole. But I think as soon as everybody saw, you know, them do their first run, I think all of us were in the room together and we're like, wow, that was really fast. And if he goes flat, it's going to be super fast. You know, he'll be a real contender for the pole. And that's how it played out. So yeah, I think you know, there's been quite a few different storylines. You know, obviously some of the Penske's or all the Penske's were eliminated after the first 12. You know, that really shifted the storylines, but also how it played out, I think. So yeah, it's wide open. I think there's a lot of great cars and great competitors, and maybe more than we've seen. You know, as you said, typically you kind of see a clear favorite or maybe 3 or 4, but this year there's a lot more.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey guys, Dalton Hopkins with Frontstretch. Likewise, I've also asked a number of drivers today the same question. With the double being a main headline again this year, is there anybody that you guys, for all three of you, anybody that you guys feel like you'd like to see come and try the double, either on the IndyCar side or the NASCAR side? Scott, I'd like you to start since you have been nominated by a couple of guys already.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably a little easier going this way, just the amount of track time you get. But no, I think we had kind of talked about it years ago, you know, with Chip, but it just never really came to anything. I think it's very difficult. You know, I think it's maybe, you know, manufacturer situation, teams. It's not an easy thing to do. So, you know, really admire the people that do it, and obviously the success that we've seen with a lot of them has been, you know, huge. So yeah, it's not in my near future, no. But I don't know, Alex, you should do it. Do it.
I would love to do it.
Yeah, do it.
I would do it.
Felix should do it too. We should all do it, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought there was a rule like you can kind of. Okay.
Yeah. Who wants to
Scott,
volunteer?
I think Scott should try, and then depend on how it goes, we follow.
Steven Stump of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.